cafe anywhere. Look at this.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 2470, 2470. Hi, I'm Mike Matthews. I guess I'm now called a creative.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I used to just be creative, then things changed and now it's all different. I'm called a creative and I'm called Arthur Dent. Wait, that was a guy from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's a wonderful book. It's all full of fallacy and it's fantasy and it's interesting because Martin Freeman was in that movie.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And Sam Rockwell and Zooey Deschanel. Interesting group of folks that went on to other things.
Mike's
But
Daily
did they
Podcast.
produce a hit movie?
Yeah!
Or star in a hit movie? They may have, but you know who did? Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt produced the awful, I hate it so much, Paper Girls, which I'm finding out so many people don't even know what I'm talking about, so I'll just leave it. But somebody spent about an hour telling me how great The Outsider is, or Outsiders, or something like that on Netflix, where she travels through time. And I'm like, isn't that the thing with like really gruesome, violent stuff in it? Oh yeah, it's awesome. But she goes back in time, and it's great. You'll like it because you like time travel. I did. No, actually, I'm starting to really not like time travel. But so Brad Pitt produced Paper Girls, but he is apparently a very successful project, Bullet Train. It apparently was the last major studio release of the summer. What? You mean the summer's almost over? No! Apparently, it is got solid ticket sales of 30 million, actually over $30 million this weekend to top the box office in North America. And I don't see movies.
And here's today's podcast picture.
I don't go to theaters to see movies. Hey, let's go with another picture from downtown Oakland. I was back there again today, walking around Lake Merritt, checked out the Oakland Museum and the beautiful gardens outside. They've got a pond that's outside that's got the little turtles that, float around in the water and then sit on the logs. Lake turtles, is that what they're called? And these big, fish. Maybe they were catfish. And they're swimming all, right next to each other. It was crazy. Oh, the late, great Basil the Boxer would have loved this. He would have just barked and barked at the fish and the turtles. Oh, I met a cool dog named Dee. Now, Basil passed at about 11 years old. He made it to about 11 and a half. But Dee, almost to 12. But Dee, you know how old he is? He's going to be 17. This dog is amazing. He's sort of a mutt between a cattle dog, maybe, and a spaniel, kind of a mix. So, what a sweet dog. He can't see very well, but he was standing. Let me pet him. It was great. I saw him today in Oakland. So, apparently, Pitt plays a professional assassin on a Japanese train that has a lot of assassins in it. The cast also includes Latin music star Bad Bunny and Sandra Bullock. Channing Tatum have smaller roles. Helming the movie is David Leitch, who is Brad Pitt's former stunt double and has earned a name directing action films. That's pretty cool. Do you know there was another action film director that started out as a stuntman, and that was a guy who directed a bunch of the 1980s, late 70s Bond films. I can't think of his name at the moment, but the DC League of Super Pets, still probably the most forgettable name of a movie ever created, will be forgotten. What were we talking about? But it went to number 2 and made like an $11 million. It's made a lot of money. Whatever. Minions. This is the Minions. I say more? That's also in the top 5. American Airlines canceled more than 260 of its flights, about 8% of its schedule, not including flights operated by its regional affiliates. Republic Airlines, a regional carrier that operates under the American Eagle, Delta Connection, and United Express brands, in addition to operating some of its own flights, also had more than 260 cancellations, or 25% of its schedule for Friday. And apparently there was could be a result of aircraft not being in a position to fly their first flights of the morning. Thunderstorms on the East Coast. That from USA Today. And then 3 Kremlin generals were sacked. And Biden has urged to declare Russia a state sponsor of terrorism. This according to MSN and USA Today. The poor performance of Russia's armed forces during its invasion of Ukraine appear to have led to a shakeup in command. This according to the British Defense Ministry. General Alexander Vladimirovich, who had been charged with speed that up. Would you play that back? Speed it up really fast. It'll sound perfect. Who has been charged with overall command of the operation in Ukraine, was removed from his post last week, the ministry said. General Colonel Alexander Zhuravlev, who had commanded Russia's Western Military District since 2018, was absent from Russia's Navy Day in St. Petersburg a week ago and has likely been replaced. Another general was relieved of the command of Southern Grouping Forces. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
Anyway.
The last place on earth. I have to tell you, today I ate at a burrito place that was like a Filipino/Mexican burrito place. And they actually... So one of their things they do that's pretty interesting is they put French fries in their burritos. And I had once had one of these burritos. It's called a California burrito. Back probably 10 years ago. I had met some people after I did the Anchor Brewing Company tour. I don't know if that's still free or not, over there near Potrero Hill in San Francisco. I met this nice couple. They had flown from, I think they had flown to America from South Korea to visit. And they were like, hey, we're going to go after, we're testing some of these beers. Afterwards, they do a beer tasting. And they go, we're going to check out this beer truck. Not a beer truck, a burrito truck, a food truck that's parked over there off Montgomery. Do you want to come with us? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going that way anyway. And we caught a bunch of buses and got over there. Anyway, the people that ran that food truck now run an actual restaurant in Oakland. Senior Sig, I think is what it's called. And so I remember eating this burrito. It had French fries in it. I was amazed. I mean, not a lot of French fries, just a couple, but it's an interesting flavor. And so I went and ordered one today with my lovely lady friend. And I'm eating this burrito and I'm about halfway through it. And I say to my lovely lady friend, there weren't any French fries in here. So I go up to the window, and which was amazing that I could even go up to the window, because usually it was packed full of people and you couldn't get to talk to anybody, because they've converted this old, I think it may have been a Mexican restaurant. It's got that special tile on the walls, very elaborate, and inside you could see is an old fountain that they've long since turned off, and they're like putting stuff on top of it. So it looks like this operation just got off the ground. And I was, hey, this burrito didn't have any French fries. And the lady looked at my order, because you can do that because everything's saved digitally. And she goes, oh, yeah, you should have had French fries in there. Okay. And I'd eaten half the burrito. She goes, we're going to make you a new one. Here, give me that. I've eaten half the burrito. Just let me finish it. I'm a big guy. What are you going to do with it? So I can only imagine she did something wonderful with it. Maybe folded up the rest of what I had, put it in an envelope, sent it to somebody who was hungry. I don't know. But whatever. I got cafe anyway. Whatever. I got cafe whatever. I got the dang burrito with the French fries in it. And now I'm good. I don't need to have another one for another 10 years. That's fine. So that's all I've got for that part of the show with burritos. One thing, though, I would like to say TC is no longer with us. Theodore Cavan. Remember TC in Magnum? That actor was the best. Unfortunately, he has passed away at the age of 83. Roger E. Mosley. At 117, this happened today. He was surrounded by family as he transcended peacefully, says his daughter. The actor is fondly remembered for his leading role, which he played alongside Tom Selleck in the original Magnum P.I. series. It ran for 8 years from 1980 to 1988. Yeah, he helped make that show fantastic. He was born in the Watts section of L.A. He made his acting debut in 1971 in episodes of Cannon and Longstreet. He went on to play Monk in Terminal Island alongside Phyllis Davis and future co-star Tom Selleck. After a number of roles in the late 1970s, he began his time on Magnum P.I. as TC, a helicopter pilot who ran his own tour guide service called Island Hoppers, and frequently flew Magnum while he worked on various cases. He made an appearance in the episode Reboot in 2019, playing TC's barber? What? While on the original series, Mosley also directed and wrote an episode. Oh, I see. So he wasn't playing himself. They had some young guy playing him, so he had to play the barber. In addition to Magnum P.I., he also had notable roles in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, McHugh, The Greatest, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and Hitman. And I once wrote a song with the guy who wrote the theme song to Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And that's all. I've done a podcast about that, so we won't rehash that. In 1982, he told Ebony Magazine that Leadbelly was his favorite movie that he acted in because it provided him an opportunity to demonstrate his versatility and educated him about the institutional racism of his chosen profession. Okay, wow. That is all from... Where did I pull that from? The rap. Okay, well, outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, look who's here. Hello, my commercials, Madame Rootabega. Yes, it's wonderful to see you today, and I'm glad you had a nice burrito. Oh, yes, it was so good, Madame Rootabega. Do you like burritos? Yes. Do you like hanging with Mr. Cooper? Yes. Do you like Magnum P.I.? No. Oh, why? It's all about Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii is beautiful, though. It's all right. Okay. I know it's a little expensive, but not Hawaii isn't for everybody, you know. But here in the Bay Area, apparently it behooves us all here in the Bay Area to take a flight to Hawaii, which is basically like you're flying from this side of the country to the other side, to the East Coast. It's about as far. You're going as far as the United States to get to Hawaii from here. But hey, you're closer than the other side of the United States. Look who else is here with that logic. Hello, D. Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, I wish I was on a bullet train right now so I could get away from you, D.
Yeah, get away from you. Do you know that? Hey. CVS Health seeks to buy Signify Health. Signify Health is exploring strategic alternatives, including a sale. Okay, there you go. A lot of stuff going on in the health industry. Well, everybody, that was a wonderful podcast. I think you would agree. Next podcast show thing, we're going to have the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer. If you would like to contribute with a phone call, you can do so at 336-MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast is.
Call now. 336-MM Daily.
But if you'd like to email, we got the email right here, and you can also, of course, comment below wherever you're listening to this. There's usually a comment section. That's the world we live in. Comment below. If you know what it is, what you want to say, you can comment in the comment section below, or not, or listen to A-Frame take us out.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!